The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring. Written by J.R.R. Tolkien. Characters. Frodo. He's the bearer of the ring. He's a nephew to Bilbo, and he's 33 years old at the beginning, but whenever the adventure starts, he's 50. Bilbo. He's Frodo's uncle. He's the previous keeper of the ring, and he's been on one of his own adventures, The Hobbit. Gandalf. He's a wizard, and he's good friends with Bilbo and Frodo. Sam. He's Frodo's gardener slash friend, and he really likes elves a lot. Pippin. He's Merry's cousin. He's also Frodo's friend. And Merry is Pippin's cousin, and he's Frodo's other friend. Aragorn. He is a ranger of the north, possessor of however you pronounce that.
Enduril.
And he's Gandalf's friend. Legolas. He's a master bowman, and he's friends with Gimli at the end of the book. And Gimli, son of Glowin. He's friends with Legolas at the end of the book as well. Boromir. He's considered a great warrior in Gondor. Gollum was previously considered a hobbit and was the keeper of the ring for many years before Bilbo even found it. Lastly, Sauron. He was the creator of the ring. He was an ancient elf and was killed by Isildur, Aragorn's ancestor. Isildur! The plot summary. The setting, exposition, and rising action. The story starts in the Shire, a few days before both Frodo and Bilbo's birthday party. At the end of the birthday, Bilbo does his disappearance, which Frodo was aware of. After the party, Gandalf informs Frodo that he now owns Bag End, and everything left inside, which included the ring. Neither Gandalf nor Frodo understood the power of the ring at the time. 17 years go by, and Gandalf returns with new information about the ring. Frodo is told of the great evil that the ring holds, and Frodo swears to leave the Shire and possibly never return. Frodo sells Bag End and sets out for his new home, knowing he can't stay in one place for very long because of the ring wraiths were in pursuit. Frodo and the three other hobbits start their adventure and set out for the town called Bree. In Bree, they meet a man called Strider, who they find out to be a man named Aragorn, a descendant of Isildur. Aragorn leads the four hobbits to a large hill called Weathertop, where Frodo gets stabbed by one of the ring wraiths with a poison dagger. They then quickly rush Frodo as fast as possible to Rivendell, where he could be cured. Frodo wakes up and meets Bilbo again after many years. A council is held, a fellowship was created, they go to the Mines of Moria, Gandalf dies. They spend some time in Lothlorien. Then they're floating down the river of Anduin towards Mordor. Climax/Conflict. The Fellowship makes it to Aragorn's ancestral land. The group makes Frodo decide what to do now that they're so close to Mordor. Frodo goes off into the hills to think about it. Boromir attacks Frodo, causing Frodo to put on the ring and run away. While fleeing, Frodo decides to go to Mordor by himself to prevent any of his friends from dying. Frodo sets out on a boat to cross the river to Mordor, when Sam jumps after him, landing in the water, face first. Following action/resolution. Frodo pulls Sam out of the water and returns to the shore. Sam swears that he'll never leave Frodo stranded by himself in Mordor. Sam gathers his things, and they make it across the Anduin River. There they stand at the edge of another long adventure filled with peril. And the analysis of personality in the novel. Each character's personality takes a big role in The Lord of the Rings. Characters' personalities will often clash, causing conflict, or the opposite of conflict, friendship. Humor. Pretty much all the parts with Gimli, they're pretty funny.
Well, here's one dwarf she won't ensnare so easily. I have the eyes of a hawk and the ears of a fox.
Sometimes with the hobbits, but a lot of the times with Gimli. The book's weakness. It's the poems and the songs. I mean, I don't think the poems are bad or anything. Just some of them are a little long. Some of the poems are actually really good and fun to read, but not all of them though. It doesn't take anything away from the book, but yeah, some of them are a little long, but a few of them are really good. Yeah. The key themes of the book include the corruption due to power. This can be seen with Isildur, Bilbo, Gollum. All three took the ring and kept it as their prized possession or saying goodbye. This theme is used many times throughout the book. They leave places of refuge almost every single chapter. So you see a lot of saying goodbye. Light versus dark. This is the biggest. This theme is used very heavily throughout the book. Seen with Gandalf and the Balrog. The clash of his sword with the clash of his white sword against the shadowy figure's molten sword. You know, dark and light, that kind of thing. Yeah. The hero cycle. Starting with the ordinary world, we have Frodo and Bilbo living in Baggin a few days before their birthday. Second, 16 to 17 years later, after Bilbo's disappearance, Gandalf returns with the horrible truth of the ring. 3. Frodo tries to give the ring to Gandalf, who immediately refuses. 4. Frodo and his 3 hobbit companions meet Strider and Bree, who leads them away from the ring wraiths. 5. The 5 of them arrive at Rivendell, with Frodo healing from his stab wound to rest for a bit. 6. The Fellowship is created to help Frodo get to Mordor safely. It included him and 8 others. 7. The Fellowship slowly makes their way through the pitch-black halls of the Mines of Moria. 8. They fight the group of orcs, narrowly escaping. Then they're faced with the Balrog. 9. Gandalf trades his life for the rest of the group. The rest escape, chased by orcs. 10. The group makes their way to Lothlorien in grief. They spend a long time there. Frodo learns his future if he doesn't complete his task. 11. Boromir confronts Frodo and tries to steal the ring from him. Frodo flees and makes the decision to travel to Mordor by himself. 12. The elixir is the long friendship between the rest of the Fellowship. Sam starts his journey alongside Frodo into the bowels of Mordor. The human condition. Tolkien explores the many facets of the human condition in the Fellowship, with the characters representing the parts of ourselves. Frodo represents the child, afraid and small. The child is what we all are when we're faced with a daunting situation, set off through the world to learn and to grow. Gandalf represents wisdom, to inform, to drive off worry. We give/accept wisdom to push each other and ourselves through hard times, to incite wonder and to give understanding to the world surrounding. And Aragorn represents courage, the will to push through no matter what the scale of the opposing force is, to stand up for the weak and to rescue those in need.